Over the past week and a half, the main headline of the NFL has been Jamal Adams requesting a trade from the New York Jets. Jamal Adams, a star safety, has been added to the Seattle Seahawks, and in return, the Jets got a few first-round picks. Are the Seahawks trying to reach another Super Bowl? Will Jamal Adams be able to help? And how far will they actually make it in the season? Today, I'm going to try to guess how far the Seattle Seahawks will make it in the 2020-21 season. What's up, everybody? It's AC Analysis, and today I'm going to be talking about Jamal Adams' trade and will it help the Seahawks make it to the Super Bowl? Because every single year they make the playoffs, but they can never make it to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to get into that, and let's get started. Jamal Adams was a star safety for LSU, eventually getting him drafted with the 7th overall pick in the 2018 round. And with that, Jamal Adams every single year has been getting crazy stats. First year, 83 tackles, second 115, third 75. And he is one of the best safeties in the league. But Madden, EA, still thought it would be an amazing idea to give him a 92 overall. Okay, back to the topic. Since then, he's been a star. But recently, he had been requesting a trade from the Jets, saying that he wants to be more on a winning team and he just didn't want to be on the Jets anymore. So he got traded to Seattle for a few first-round picks, and now it looks like Seattle Seahawks are really built to make another run. So first off, why did they get Jamal Adams? Well, obviously they needed a safety, but I feel like the reason is because they wanted the next Bam Bam. Bam Bam is Cam Chancellor, in case you didn't know that, and Cam Chancellor was a complete beast at safety. And Jamal Adams looks to be that Cam Chancellor that they've been looking for. Tall, freaking jacked, and he can hit really hard, but he's also a really smart safety. So I feel like they were just looking for the next Cam Chancellor to add to their team. And now their defense looks a lot more ready to play. Their offense already looked ready, and now their defense looks even better. Before we dive too deep into if Jamal Adams will make a difference, let's take a look at their starting players on their team. Obviously, they got number 3, the best quarterback in the league, or one of the best, Russell Wilson. As long as you have Russell Wilson on your team, you're at least going to get about 8 wins in a season, and they have a pretty solid run game with players like Chris Carson and Carlos Hyde, and their wide receiver core is pretty good with average players like Philip Dorsett. Then they got consistent Tyler Lockett and rising star DK Metcalf. In the offensive attack, it all looks good. Their offensive line has always been average and mediocre, but the rest of their team looks very good on offense. And now we're going to start to talk about the defensive side. On the defensive line, they don't have any notable names, but they still got a solid defensive line. But their linebackers is where it gets serious. They have good players who have made a name for themselves, like Shaquem Griffin. Well, he's not made a name for himself yet, but he's getting there. Bruce Irvin, the best middle linebacker in the league, Bobby Wagner, and former Super Bowl MVP KJ Wright. That's a scary linebacker core that can easily just hunt you down. And now when we look at their secondary, it's even better. Trey Flowers is solid, but the main one is Shaquille Griffin. Shaquille Griffin, brother of Shaquem Griffin, is an absolute beast and is a rising star who looks like he can really make a name for himself in the NFL. So Shaquem Griffin looks to be a good player, and when you add on Jamal Adams to that, I feel like it's kind of like a Richard Sherman, except for a little faster. A Richard Sherman and Bam Bam combination. It's kind of like that. So I feel like they're really trying to build back the Legion of Boom, because that's what they need to make the Super Bowl. Before I start talking about the rest of the team, I want to talk about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is always a great player. Over the past 2 years, he's averaged over 30 touchdowns and has had a passer rating of over 105. He is playing at an MVP level, and without him, the Seattle Seahawks would be nothing. So because of that, I'm going to say that Russell Wilson is going to carry his team to at least 8 wins no matter what. Before we talk about how far they go, let's talk about their schedule. They're playing in one of the toughest divisions in the league, with teams like the 49ers, the Rams, and the Cardinals. Rams are a middle-of-the-pack team, Cardinals could play great, and the 49ers are great. So they're playing potentially 6 really good teams out of their 16 games. And then they're also playing some also difficult teams, like the Falcons can always be in trouble, the Cowboys look to be rising, the Vikings are always up there, and no one knows what's going on with the Patriots, and we can't forget about the Washington Redskins. But after taking a look at their record and their schedule, I feel like they're going to go 11-5, and make it to the wild card spot in the NFC. Because the 49ers, I feel like, are going to have a great record, maybe even 13-3 again. So I feel like the Seahawks will make it to the playoffs, but on a wild card spot, and they can make it far in the playoffs, but I'm not sure how far. I picked 11-5 because I feel like they can beat the Cardinals once. I'm not sure if they can beat them twice. 49ers, I don't think they have an advantage over, and there are a bunch of other teams that are questionable. They're playing a lot of middle-of-the-pack teams like the Vikings and the Eagles and the Rams. So because of this, it could go any way. They could lose to the Eagles, they could lose to the Rams, or they could beat some teams that I thought they would lose to, like the Cowboys. And they might actually even lose to some crazy teams like the Dolphins, like when the Patriots lost to the Dolphins in Week 17 of the 2019 season to Fitzpatrick. I think I already ranted about that a few videos ago. Back to the topic. So because of that, I feel like they will get 11 wins at most, and it could go downhill, and they might even be able to get 12 wins, but I don't really see that happening at the state of the team right now. So now begs the question, will Jamal Adams make a difference? My answer is yes, 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 yes. Jamal Adams is a game-changing safety that EA gave a 92 rating in Madden. Talked about that again. But still, he is a great player, and when you have a safety like that on your defense, you're bound to do good. They played well with Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas. What's going to be different about Jamal Adams? Maybe he won't fit in the system, but Pete Carroll has something with making safeties great. He did it again with Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor. So I feel like Jamal Adams might even be able to improve, and I feel like this year he might even be in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. That might be pushing it a little bit, but we'll see. So anyway, guys, that wraps up this video. This has been AC Analysis, talking about how far the Seahawks will make it in the 2020-2021 season. I'll be making a video mostly once every 2 days, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for the support, and see you next time.